What we're experiencing here is a time in America when martial law is a real possibility. Um, it's been coming down the line for a long time now, but finally there's an actual reason to implement it, which is economic collapse, economic disaster, super recession, however you want to phrase it. There's been a lot of laws put in place, government agencies put in place to deal with world terrorism, the global war on terror. But okay, that seems to be pretty much over. Whatever enemies there were to the state of America, I mean, there's no match, and it's a joke at this point if there is any resistance. So where do they look next? Who is the they we're speaking of? Government contractors, government corporate manufacturers of weapons, the industrial military complexes, as it's been phrased. So yeah, and with the economy, the banker-run economy, that's been basically defrauded. American people have been defrauded of majority of their savings, their homes, their jobs. Even if you have your job, you have a home, you have some savings, you're still paying more for your products. Food is rising in price. Gasoline has been up for years. Products are inferior and break, so you have to replace those at the shop at your local junk store, called Walmart, whatever. So you're paying more. That will be fine until the total bottom falls out, which it's going to do. I mean, I'm 100% sure it will. For how long is another question, but there's going to be a giant drop in the economy in the United States. There's also a drought in play right now. These things happen. It's a natural occurrence, but is it brought on by whatever human activity? It doesn't matter at this point. What I'm trying to say is that there will be an economic drop that will necessitate people needing to fend for themselves, build a local community of support for neighborhood watches, providing food for each other, possibly. So this could last weeks, could last months. Well, there's too many people to not have an economy. It'll just be different, which is fine. But do you want to make it through that rough patch? Do you have water? Do you have food? I'm not talking elaborate, like freeze-dried astronaut food here. I'm just talking about, staples of carbohydrates, protein, say that's beans and rice, water source. If you don't have water, at least have some water tablets, filter maybe. If you do have like land, of course try to grow your own food, but more importantly, I would have some sort of well or a pond or some sort of large gallon capacity container for water, which you could use for other purposes, or or just keep it sealed for actually drinking water. But if you have a large body of water, like 25 gallons, 50 gallons, a pond, a couple of good water barrels that aren't that expensive. These blue plastic water barrels can hold the various gallons, different amounts, but those are really good. Even a pond, you won't think of drinking in that pond water, but it could be decorative for the rest of the years. But when you need that water, you can pump out of it, or just pan out of it and put your filter or water purity tablets in it. Then you've got water. So anyway, just think about that. Start. It's basically a topic of prepping. The more people that have a little bit of supplies, they won't be dependent on the 1 or 2 days of food supply that your basic supermarket has. You know, who knows? Maybe it's like a little bit in the storage facilities or their warehouses. But if everyone hasn't been prepared, everyone's going to want to get something. And you've seen video of people getting in line for water, just basic water, when something happens. You just don't want to do that. You know, put less pressure on everybody, and also make your community stronger by doing that. So yeah, this is just an intro type of video. I might like to do more with specific topics, but this one is just basically saying martial law is coming down the line, and to do something about it as far as like surviving a food type shortage, or you know, rioting or some sort of disturbance. You need to have a little bit of food on hand and some way to get clean water. That's the very basics. Thank you.